Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new wipe, which means new crafting videos. I needed a little bit of time to dive in, see what the economy was doing, and kind of let it settle a little bit. It's still pretty wild, but we're going to get you some of your best crafts so you can not just level up crafting, but make some decent money and get the most out of your generator running. So let's dive in. We'll go right through all of the modules. I'll give you a couple of good crafts to look at, some shortcuts, some cheats to do to make you the most money, and then we'll do our best to update this. I do one of these every week for my patrons. It's a little bit less fancy. It's a quick shout out. I do have a Patreon. I'm going to do these videos for you guys free on YouTube as well, but I do weekly ones and market updates and stuff like that on my Patreon. So if that's something you're interested in, go check it out. Link is down in the description. It supports me over there. It's just another way to get some info out of me and for me to get stuff that doesn't get kind of folded into the way YouTube requires us to make videos. But I'm not going to waste any more of your time with that. Let's get right into the crafting. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the med station, because this is kind of like your recycling place. Right now, I am crafting IFAKs. Now, these don't make great money, but they do okay, and you can craft them at level 2. Now, to help you guys with this, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to use Tarkov Market. I live on this site to do stuff. I recommend you guys want to check it out. It is behind a paywall. If you don't want to do it, you can watch my stuff. DM lets me use his stuff at no cost to... like no additional cost. I pay him a Patreon, I give it, I use this stuff, but that's where all this information is coming from. Again, tarkovmarket.com, link will be down in the description. It's not a paid ad, just a great service. I use it for all sorts of stuff. So when trying to do IFAKs, I do try to get my meds. See, this does average prices. So I look for cheaper stuff. When I'm buying meds, I'm shooting for 5,000 or less to buy my pile of meds. I'm also trying to use bandages up that I've used, like 1 out of 2 bandages. I use those because it saves you a little bit of money. Plus you get out of scavs with these things and your costs are a little bit lower. Or if you get higher level fence, loyalty level 6 fence technically, but 6.0 fence, you can get meds off of him and do this really cheap. Now, once you get that, I always try to save my stacks of IFAKs up until I get a higher amount and catch these peaks. Will probably be a little bit cheaper over the weekend as more people come in, but as long as you're selling for 16,500, you'll be doing about 7, maybe 8,000 rubles an hour with flea market fees. Now, I don't have Intel level 3 yet, so my fees are just as expensive as yours, but once I get 3, it really helps with profit. So I always tell people, push for Intel level 3. It's huge. The amount of money it saves you over the course of a wipe is insane. Now, if you only have MedStation 1, one of the things that you can craft and make money with is cheeses. It's simple as that, and they make decent money. It actually makes more money than the IFAKs and AFAKs if you're watching it carefully. So buy your meds at 5,000, craft your AI2s, try to sell your AI2s for like 32, 3,300. Sometimes you can get a little bit more, and you're gonna do okay. After that is Grizzlies, but try again to use ALU splints that are used up. That's what I do. It saves you money. And then go for the higher end on the Grizzlies. These do have a pretty good swing. They go from about 30 to 40,000 each day and each night. So I will craft a good stack of them, list them for 40 when I get off at the end of the night. Now, over at the nutrition unit, this is kind of another recycle place, but there's some crafts in here that work really good early wipe. Now, I'm crafting hot rods. It's almost over. It's an overnight craft that I do that I craft all night long. And something I forgot to mention already, if you want to level your crafting the fastest, you need to cycle crafts. You can't do back to back. So you need to go like AI2s to pile of meds, or, you know, we're going to talk about condensed milk here and hot rods or slickers and things. You have to cycle to get the most out of your crafting skill. But anyways, crafting, right now, crafting condensed milk is a good deal. When you're crafting condensed milk, the key here is just get your stuff cheap. I save my sugar so I can sell it found and raid later at like 40, 50, 60,000. I don't know what it's going to do this wipe. I don't recommend anybody does that because it doesn't make you that much money. I pull it off because I buy shit. If you want to do it, great, but I don't recommend it because it eats up a ton of space. But I buy my sugar, I buy my milk, I just buy it, and then I sell the condensed milk. You sell it straight to therapist. Or an interesting trick, if you did not know this, and let me buy a condensed milk real quick just to show you guys why this is important. The can of condensed milk, see, we might actually even make money here. That's funny how that works. A lot of people have a hard time leveling up Jaeger. Crafting condensed milk. So if you sell it to therapist, she pays 15,000 for it, right? If you sell it to Jaeger, he pays 14,900. It's almost the same, but this levels up his money. So if you sell to him, it helps you get his money leveled up so that you can get him to the next loyalty level. So that's what I did. I was crafting condensed milk and then just vendoring it straight to Jaeger. Now it looks like the price they have in here, he's selling it on the flea. You get it with a little bit of a flea fee. I just vendor it because it's easy. Now, vodka, it lists vodka in here, and this you can make money with just crafting. You need nutrition 3, but the real cool trick is drink your water bottles down to 1 out of 60 and then craft them. So not only do you get that hydration use out of the water, you make that much extra money selling your vodkas. Now, vodka has not been selling all that high. It's only going to get cheaper. He's got it at 29,000 in here. We're already pushing into the 20s. So you're probably only going to sell for about, let's just put 20 in here just so you can see the pricing on it, and you'll see you're losing money, right? But if you count your water bottles as 0 cost because you used it to, to keep your hydration up, and even if you're buying your moonshine, you're still making 10,000 an hour, or a total profit of about 17,000 selling these. And the big deal, the really big deal about vodka is it helps level up that flea market rating. I got to 175 or 180 before the event started last wipe, the end of wipe events where you could just sell stuff for crazy prices. I got all of those leveled up that high selling primarily vodka. So it really helps you level that up. So that's why I do that. Even if I break even, at least I'm crafting something, at least I'm leveling up that flea market rating. Now, after that is slickers. You can do okay with slickers. Just buy your crackers for about 13, 14K. You can get them off Therapist. Oat flakes for under 15. Chocolate right now under 10. If you can stock up, this will last better. And then try to sell your slickers for about 9 or 10K. These are going to go all over the place. As players start filtering through and having to do scav vests, that's what eats these up big time. So they're bartering for scav vests with these. So if you're doing slickers for about 9,000 a piece, which you can do, they do swing as well. But if you can sell them for about 9K, that's going to be their peak. And if you got to go to 8,900, that's fine. You're going to do okay with slickers. It's another thing you can craft a nutrition unit. I tell people to take advantage of it as much as you can early wipe, because there is this big drought with the nutrition unit where it doesn't really make you any money for like 2-3 months of the wipe. And it's just a product of how it works and what it crafts. Now we're going to take a real quick peek at the Intel Center. I've got Intel too, but they changed a lot of this. A lot of these are now locked behind tasks, but you can craft thumb drives. So I'll go here to the Intel Center, and it's going to show you all of these. There's a little bit of spoiler here. Spoiler alert, I guess. It sucks, but it's showing you got to do a bunch of tasks in here to get the rest of these unlocked at loyalty level 2. But you can craft thumb drives and you can make money. SSDs for under 35. GPXs for under 32, and G phones for under 13, or just use the ones you have in raid. Once you craft them, you list them on the flea for 45,000, and it's almost a break-even craft. But again, at least you're crafting something, you're making a little bit of money out of it, and you're helping those out that need their thumb drives for various other stuff. Now, Lavatory, this is such a good place to craft for everybody because you don't have to have your generator running here, and there's so many crafts that you can do. Right now, I'm doing bleach, and that's because it's the best craft. Buying my sodium. I'm often getting my sodium for less than 10K, but you're always racing the guys that are trading for IFAKs. And alkali you can get for under 15K, but I have been paying 20 quite frequently. And then soap is cheap. If I had a bunch of money, I would be stocking up on stuff for bleach because this price never really tanks. It might go down to 9,000, but you're still going to make money with it. So for me, I'm crafting bleach and I'm just selling it. I'm not really saving it. If you want to sit on it, you can get a couple thousand more rubles out of it in the evening when people start burning through these, especially as people need to do the barter for Punisher Part 4 or 5, where you need the 6B47 for that barter. Now, after that, one of the most common crafts I'm actually doing is toilet paper. And the reason is you can just vendor this. I try to get my toilet paper for less than 10,000, and then I just vendor it to Therapist. And it basically breaks even, but I'm cycling my hideout. I'm getting that crafting skill, and sometimes you can get paper for like 9K or whatever and make a little bit of money. Other than that, I'm crafting magazine cases, and yes, you do lose a little bit of money selling these. But if you want to look at it, if you have non-found and raid fuel cans and you look at your fuel cost, boom, you make a little bit of money. But the big deal is, again, you're raising your flea market rating. After that, you have grenade cases. Again, you can do decent on these. You just got to make sure you get your bolts cheap. You'll make a little bit of money, but it's something to craft overnight. And then lastly, all we really have in here is things like scav backpacks, stuff that makes you a little bit of money. And again, these are great if you're drinking your water bottles up, if you have non-found and raid fleece, because it's usually better off just selling the fleece than selling the backpacks because you make more money that way. But this module will take off here in the next couple of months, so don't give up on it. It has this lull early wipe where it's got more utility for crafting things that you need for quests and stuff. But then once we get into where people have the barters and they need the fabrics, which they don't need right now, you can just print money at this thing freely because of the Cordura crafts and stuff like that. All right, now we're gonna go look at the Workbench level 3, the money maker of the whole hideout. This is where you make the most money. Right now I have, I'm cycling tons of crafts. It just kind of depends on what I have. Wires are quite frequently because I get out of, if I die with a power cord in my butt or whatever, round pliers, nixers. There's so many crafts here. So we're going to focus on a couple ones that require the least amount of work. And this boils down to red gunpowder. Buy everything, craft it, and then just vendor it to Therapist. She pays $22,000. You can sell this on the flea if you want. If you're looking to pump that, oops, that's weird. If you're looking to pump that up, that flea market rating, you can, but you're gonna miss out on a little bit of cash. I've just been vendoring to Therapist because it's easier and it's super clean and quick. It's a fast craft, and I cycle that with round pliers, which is also an awesome craft because you just buy these pliers, you get them for less than 10K. That's all I do. If I see them for less than 10K, I snatch them up. If we go look in my junk box right now, I bet I got a handful of them. Yeah, see, I got a bunch of these yellow pliers I bought. Then once you get them from Therapist, or once you craft them, you just vendor the red ones to Therapist. There's no flea market, there's no nothing. It's easy. Now, flechettes. Any of you who know me really well know this is, in my mind, this is one of the most evil crafts out there. I fucking hate this craft, but it is good for money. And the reason I hate this craft is because I feel like it ruins Factory. Once people start getting flechettes and they show up all over the place, you just don't see anything else on Factory but flechettes, and that's not fun, in my opinion. If you like them, that's great. You're still a horrible person. I'm kidding, by the way. Don't get your panties in a ruffle. Great for crafting for money right now because flechettes are hard to get. You can't, a lot of people don't have them, but they want them in Factory. So they're spending 1,000 rubles, 1,500 rubles around for these things. And it's a great thing to use your metal fuel cans on. And even if you don't, if you buy a full metal fuel can, let's say you go buy one of these and that's what they're selling for. I'm pretty sure that's what they're at right now is 43,000. Let me go look here real quick just to verify. I don't want to give you guys bad information, but if you're looking here, so you're spending 49.50. If you come in here and get rid of my filters, you can get empty ones for like 50K. So we'll update the price here to 50,000 just to show you guys. Even with this, you still make money. You can still make 5,000, but the key is to use your empty ones. You got empties and you're saying this, we'll call it 4,000 because that's what I think you can vendor the empty one for. You're making 50,000 on 2 hours of crafting. Now wires, always going to talk about wires because it doesn't matter. If you don't know what to craft, craft wires. Power cords can be as expensive as 45,000 and we'll put that price in there. Even at that price, you're still making decent money with wires, especially if you can sell these pushing 20,000, which sometimes you can. You're just going to make bank, which is why if I'm in raid, I will take out a serve kit and put a power cord in there because it's worth more. That serve kit is worth 40, 50,000 maybe. And one power cord is essentially worth, I don't know, 80,000 rubles because of what it turns into on the wires. Now, after that, we have the Nixer craft. And this is kind of an interesting one. It can make you a lot of money, but there's a couple of things here. If you can buy the cameras for euros, you can. Here's 75,000, but they added a barter. And I'm going to show you this if you don't know about it. It's a really cool barter. I don't know if it's on one. It is on one. Mechanic 1. You can barter for 4 cameras each reset, and all you need is a power bank, which these things are under 20K, and some of these new fancy electronic component parts, which are under 20K. So 40K, we'll say 40K gets you a camera. You put that number in there now. If I can here, let's see, 40,000. Buy your plexiglass, sell your Nixers for 80K a piece, 75K a piece, and you are just printing money. But keep that in mind, you got to have that camera barter unlocked. Now, honorable mention goes to print DVDs. These things go all over the place. You'll see them go to 25. You'll see them go down to 10K. If you see these in that 12K range, snatch them up. Snatch up your DVD drives at 12K because one, it's a fast craft, so you can cycle these things. And then it just spits out printed circuit boards, which are easy to sell in big stacks. I'll get these in like stacks of 10 or 15 and then sell them at any point of the day. And you're usually going to make money. Even if you're selling them down in the low, like 12K range versus like 15K, you're still going to do just fine. The last craft I'm going to bring up is 366 AP. It's Workbench 2. This is a long craft. I do this at night. It's great for leveling up your hideout and it makes pretty good money. Challenge is you got to be able to buy SP6, which we'll go with the wiki. I don't remember where that is exactly. I'll jump right to the wiki. It's proper loyalty level 3. So you can get it out of raid. You can't flea market SP6, but this is, if you get it out of raid, if I see it, I always take it because it is worth quite a bit and it's good for crafting APM ammo, the 366 AP ammo. Buy yourself some PS, cheap kite gunpowder, and then in 7 hours, you have yourself quite a bit. Now, these guys are selling for 2,000. I usually don't push 2,000, though you can get that. I'm selling for 1,800 to 2,000 just to make sure it sells. But as you can see, people are more than willing to pay for this because it's a one-tap chest ammo with like class 3 and some class 4 armors. Okay, so that is the crafting video. Couple of quick things. I'm going to talk about the Christmas tree real quick because we only have about a day left. There are crafts in here. If you want to craft red Christmas balls, go to your vector. In fact, I'm going to start that now because there's nowhere else you want to use these. And the reason is because every one of these else requires a red or a purple ball. Me, I am saving up for the weapon case. It's 15, I believe, and 30. I'm close. I'm going to grind today customs. Safes and woods are your best places to get Christmas balls. Anywhere the valuables spawn, gold chains, things like that. So woods, custom safes, shoreline safes, all that kind of that stuff. I'm going to craft a weapon case because then I'm going to sell it eventually. If you don't have a LEDX, because LEDXs are blocked behind a task now, this would be a good way to get it, but it requires these purple and white balls. So keep that in mind. Now, this Christmas tree will probably go away on the 7th or 8th. It usually does it right after Russian Orthodox Christmas. Drops are running through the morning of the 8th, 8 a.m. Eastern, so I don't think they're going to shut servers down to do an update, and I believe they have to do that to pull everything off because it's not just the Christmas tree. It's Santa. It's some of the stuff in Raid. They've got to make sure they turn all that stuff up, and that requires a server reset. So when you see that alert, server reset, that means that's probably when the trees are going away on 7th or 8th. And if you are crafting, your stuff disappears. Even if it's finished, you will not get it. So you need to not only finish your craft, you need to collect your craft before those servers go down. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, some just quick things. Remember, if you're not into crafting, you probably didn't notice this, but you can search now. So you can search for, all sorts of stuff and just quickly get it. And you can heart crafts now. You can favorite heart crafts. So it keeps them at the top and they don't cycle and they're always there at the top. Thank you, BSG. This is amazing. So that's it. That's all there is I got for you guys. I will do these more frequently at the early part of the wipe as prices fluctuate. I do them every week for the Patreons. Not this week technically because we have this one, but I give them other market stuff, some little secrets and tidbits that I don't share with the rest of you guys. They get it and the market doesn't get blown out, and it's just an advantage for those that want to support the content a little bit more. One more shout out, selfless plug because I haven't done it in a while, is my music. It supports the stream. We have 9 albums, 160 songs. It's free to listen to. It's on Spotify. Links down in the description below. It is for everybody to listen to. It supports us. We make money off the ad revenue from Spotify and that. It is also for content creators. If you are a YouTuber or a streamer and you are afraid of DMCA or copyright takedowns, which you should be, you can listen to this stuff. Just attribute us, and it's there for you to, and you won't get hit with anything. It's there for you to listen to. So go give it a listen. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you guys hanging out through all of these plugs at the end. Those that you did, you guys are the real G's. I hope your raids are profitable. I wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you in Tarkov.